artist, each sink has a color. So if you sit in the blue tables, this is your sink. The instructions are here, and we're gonna go over this slide in just a minute. Paper towels, you take 2 out at a time. If you ever need more paper towels, you get more paper towels, but when you're getting ready for the next class, because I like for you, if we're clean, and I'll let you know, you just fold them in half and you set them on the tray, okay? If you have extras that you don't use, set them on the shelf, either here or in the middle, okay? The tray should be set up just like this. We have 4 per counter, okay? The cups are filled half full. If you ever need water, come back and get it. If you're dumping out the water, make sure it's in the bottom of the sink, and then you rinse a little bit, tap it out, and then stack it up, okay? I also have these little sponges. We'll go over cleaning in just a second. So all the brushes, the extra brushes are on the back counter. All the rest of the brushes are, there's a section for each sink, and it says brushes up, buttercup. Clean, dry, reshape, please. If you leave a paintbrush facing down, it ruins the bristles, and you also don't want to ever leave it in the water. Remember, you clean her as a number 8, you dry her and reshape her. That's Miss Paula. And in here are the acrylics, and we'll use these for special occasions. It'll say acrylic on it. Make sure the caps are closed on there. We put them back in the cabinet. And here are my tempera, and it says temp on it for tempera. If these need refilled, let me know, I can refill them for you. And then the next cabinet we come to are the watercolors. And down here are the praying trays. Make sure we don't mix the paints, we keep them clean, we don't mix in the trays. The nice thing is I can take these out and refill them. You don't mix your colors, you have to wake these up, and don't wake up all the colors, just wake up one color that you're using at a time. Stir it and wake it up. When you put them back in the cabinet, make sure they're alternated, meaning they're sitting left open, okay, and they're facing a different direction. That way they don't get goopy. These are my liquid watercolors. You do not have to add any water to these. You do need to make sure your paintbrush is clean with everything before you start, artist. And the other stuff is my refills and things that we would use for other projects. Now I'm going to show you how to clean afterwards. When you use these, if you have a bunch of paint left over, hopefully you won't because you haven't used a bunch of paint, you always want to scrape it out and put it in the trash. And because you don't want sink paint to get your sink, it's not good in the sink. These are here to make sure that we don't get the sink clogged, and so that it'll catch the extra stuff, okay? So at the end of the class, and while you're working, always make sure that the sink is cleaned up. You have little sponges, you should have 2 per table. When you use these, you'll rinse them at the bottom so it doesn't splatter everywhere. Use these little sponges, make sure you clean them, tap them dry, and set them on the rack, just like that, okay? And the next class we'll use the other set that I have, so then they're not using a wet tray. But what I want you to remember is we have hot water, which is great. Don't ever turn on the water full blast, okay? If you want to do a little bit of both, this is really good for cleaning the brushes. But take the little sponge, and I want to see the sink all wiped out, your sponge rinsed out, and then you wring it out as much as you can. Oops. Make sure you're going the right direction. Turn off the water and put the sponges back in there. And please don't play in the sinks because everybody wants to be able to get in and get out of here. Thank you, artist. This is how the sink should be left clean at the end of every period, and all the counters are wiped off.